Good evening.
Hi.
Evening, everybody.
Good evening.
All rolling. All fit.
Yeah.
Jen.
Who wants to present? You need to die.
There we looking at there. Trevor, where we at? Where's your background?
Top of Dixon's chimney.
Where?
Top of Dixon's chimneys on the top of my head. Hello.
Let's see who else rolls in. As well. Cool. Right, I've muted you all to stop the noise. We've got a couple more to join us. I'm just going to hang fire for a minute or two. So just while we are waiting for everyone else, I need a bit of plenty of interaction as normal tonight on motivation. So make sure that you're chucking things in that chat box for us. So to start off with, what does motivation mean to you? Write it in the chat box, send it to me. So I've got an idea of where you are at right now. Motivation, what does it mean to you? What springs to mind right at the start when you saw the word motivation in tonight's session? What does it mean? You're all highly motivated people. You're here. You've been doing this for 4 or 5 weeks. So you obviously got the motivation to do something like this. So what does motivation mean to you? Pop it in that chat box. Let me see what it means to you. Excellent. The drive behind why you want to do something, getting on and doing something to get results, getting stuff done, my why, getting where I want to be, having a good get up and go, get things done, the want and desire to do something. I like them words, Lizzie and John. I think it's Lizzie. It is Lizzie, not Lizzie and John. Excellent. Motivation is happiness with life. Well, Trevor, you're obviously swanning around the world, judging by your background, so hey, fair enough. The motivation is having the energy and desire to do what I want. I like it. Right, and we've got in still a few stragglers. Team training's just finished, so we'll see if anyone pops in. If not, I've had lots of messages tonight saying they're all going off to enjoy the sun, bike riding or walking dogs, so we're missing a few tonight. But we don't mind who's not here. We're worried about ones who are here. Right then, let me bring up my slides. Let me start back there. Fabulous. So tonight's Bobby Mark Personal Training Mindset Academy is brought to you by Bobby Mark. Fabulous. Okay. So we are on week 5, 1 week left. Goal setting habits, willpower, self-belief, motivation tonight. And then we're going to tie it all together. All right. So hopefully I'm not boring the pants off you by the time you've got to week 5. If you've made every live session, well done to you. Give yourself a pat on the back. You're obviously motivated to improve your mindset. Excellent. And remember, you might see a lot of this around the gym soon when you come back. Positive thinking, positive action, positive results. I'm not going to bore you with it, but I will remind you of it all the time. All right. So last week was about beliefs. What did you do? Feel free to unmute yourself or put in the chat box. What did you do around the belief session that we did last week that worked well for you? Did you change something? Did you do something different? What did you do really, really well from last week? Come on, shout them out to me. Trevor, unmute yourself and shout me out. Come on.
Well, I'm just achieving what I'm setting out to do. I mean, I'm getting up every morning. I become a morning person instead of a night person. And the difference in my daily timetable has made a difference to my fitness as well.
Right.
I'm doing 20 minutes every morning, little session on my own, and that's working well.
Excellent. Anyone else unmute yourself and tell me what you did well last week when it came down to your beliefs? We have Sue, being positive and doing what I want to do. Fabulous. I did not buy the wrong foods. Well done, Anne. Excellent. Anybody else?
Yeah, I got up early and got my gym kit on, ready to do the sessions I'd booked in for.
Excellent. How many did you get done last week?
3. Like plus. Yeah.
Well done. Brilliant. Enjoy them?
Yes, yeah.
Magic.
And I'm enjoying the extra little bits with the kettlebell. Every time I come upstairs to the bathroom, I have a little session with a kettlebell.
Cheer them off. Cheer them off. Cheer them off. Well done, Sue. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Lou started planning your meals again and sticking to it. Big result from last week and did the same again. Ellen, that is fantastic. Box fresh fruit and veg. Spent quite a bit on healthy snacks. Well done. Start moving more, which was hard, but you started, Nikki, and you did it. So well done to you. Trevor, mute yourself again, because all I can hear is telly. Excellent. Right, so what could we have done better? Did anyone do things that only lasted maybe half the week? Could you have done anything a little bit better? You maybe had good intentions, but not quite carried them through. Anything you could have done differently? Think about those last 2 options. What did you start with good intentions on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but by the weekend when it was, the sun was out, or did the rain put you off and you didn't get outside for your walks? What was it? I still need to work on my sleep, bedtime and getting up. But I'm the same, Nikki. We've had a good week of sleep in the last few nights with a teething 6-month-old or 7-month-old nearly. And it has been horrendous. So we have a very little sleep for a few days, as you can maybe tell. That's why I'm in the softer light, so you can't see the bags under my eyes. So, tracking food. Could be better. Boss last week, I'm feeling proud. Oh, you can't say more than that, can you? Yeah. Fabulous. So it looks like you pretty much had a good week for a lot of you. Or the ones that are up for telling me anyway, the ones who aren't. Doesn't matter. You've got a fresh set of hours to work at this week, haven't you? So let's go on. So a little reminder, I am here to try and help you reduce the gap between where you want to be and where you are right now. So bear that in mind when we're doing all this. From Josh's accountability program that we've got for this month, we made it slightly different. We know we talk about doing the accelerator online. We talked about doing different things, but we think we've got 55 of you doing this course. A lot of you regularly training with us. We wanted to do something different. So we think this course, coupled with what Josh has set out for you for this month, we think it'll work really well for you. Okay, so let's hopefully we can tie it all together and we can reduce the gap. And especially from when you get back into the gym. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we're back next month. It might be a little bit longer, but I want you all to be potentially coming out of lockdown feeling a lot more positive and in a better place mentally and physically than maybe some of you have been since we were put into isolation. That's the whole premise of all the things that we're doing for this next month and beyond. We want you to feel better coming out of isolation. Your isolation is different to mine, it's different to the next person. Some of you are at work. You know, I'm just looking through the list. I can see, Leah's out there all the time. Down to 1 or 2 others, can only see a few folk at a time on him. But, you know, where some of us haven't seen anybody. Some of you have literally just been in the house and haven't left. So we want you all coming out of lockdown, mentally and physically doing all right. And that's the whole plan. So, does anyone know what that means? V times E equals M. If you do, put it in the chat box. If you don't, remember it, we'll come back to it. V times E equals M. Motivation is the stimulation towards action. Agree or disagree? Agree or disagree? Motivation is a stimulation towards taking an action. What do you think of that? Let me have a little look. Agree. Lizzie agrees. Anyone else agree? Nikki agrees. Anyone disagree? Motivation, stimulation towards taking action. You're all agreeing with us. This is good. Wow. There's something going on tonight that I don't know about. You're all agreeing with us. Must be a first. Can I bottle this? Can I bottle this and keep it for when we reopen? Brilliant. Hang on, someone's put in the chat box, so you're going to disagree with us right now. Agree, another agree. Happy days. Right, so that's what the definition is, and I think we can all break it down and agree with that. But again, comes back to that slide again. All right, and we're looking for positive results out of all of these 6 weeks that we're talking about. So let's think about your actions and the stimulations that make you drive towards those actions. All right. So we are going to try to understand what motivation is tonight for the next 40 minutes. I'm telling you now, 10 past, yeah, about 45 minutes tonight from 7. And how to be motivated to act and move forwards every day. That's what we're going to try and, the type of plan we're going to come on with by the end of tonight. You've already been doing it, to be fair, for the last 4 weeks. All right. So what motivates you? Remember last week, it's all about you, not about me. All right. So all I'm going to do is give you 3 little examples of what motivates me. It's going to be slightly different to the ones that I've discussed over the last 4 or 5 weeks. 3 little stories. Try and remember them or forget them instantly. It's up to you. First story, what motivates me? 13, 14 years ago, told everyone I was going to be a personal trainer. A highly successful personal trainer who was originally from Cumbria but moved to London many years ago, told me, unless I move to London, I will never, ever be a success as a personal trainer. I needed to move to London because the streets were paved with gold and become a personal trainer in one of the big gyms in there, the big name gyms. There was opportunities for me, and I was told that I would never be anything as a trainer unless I moved to London. That's always stuck with me because I always thought it was a lot of crap. Yes, I moved away, and yes, I did lots of things, but I firmly believed that it didn't matter where you were a personal trainer, as long as you cared about your clients deeply enough and showed them that on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, on a session-by-session basis, that I would be a successful personal trainer. I don't know if I am a successful personal trainer, but what I do know is I've lasted 13 years when most people don't even last 2. First motivation, I always prove that guy wrong, and I love it when I do. He maybe doesn't know, but it stuck with us. Second one, for those of you who are watching this that have known me since DW days, the fitness director of DW as it was then didn't like me very much. I always wore my logo clothes. I wouldn't wear DW clothes because I paid my rent and all that jazz. It's a long story. I'm not going into it. But basically, this guy was a director of fitness in the massive gym chain that was all about fitness. And I watched him train one day. And he may as well have been wearing that suit that you can see there. What he knew about fitness, I could write on that little tiny bit of chewing gum paper there. All right? It was horrendous just to watch him train and then try and tell me how to train my clients. All right? And this guy tried to tell me how to run my business. The guy was an absolute clown. And that motivated me to open my own site, to open my own gym, to get out of being a freelancer at another gym and put my brand of fitness out there. That guy still motivates me now. I have no idea what he's doing anymore. I don't care, but this was a director of fitness. Second story. Third story, what else motivates me? High class quality personal training does not exist in the UK very much. It's only in a select few of independent gyms, and now and then you're lucky enough to find it in a commercial gym, a large chain. Why? Because the biggest personal training agency in the UK, and this isn't a rant, it's a fact, relies solely on the volume of trainers, not quality. All right? The owner of that company sat in my office in a little gym in the Sand Centre when I had my little site there, and told me when he was trying to get me to come and work for him and get rid of my business, that Barry, it doesn't matter about the quality of personal trainers because people don't know about fitness. We just need personal training bodies on the floor paying us rent to make us money. And that has stuck with me for years because they are a huge, massive company with hundreds and hundreds of sites where they put personal trainers in. And he told me it's not about quality, it's not about quality, it's about quantity of the personal trainers. And I absolutely disagreed 100%, refused to work with him, asked him to leave my office, and I don't care what they're doing now. They're still massive, but they're probably going to be hit home. That motivates me. Improve the standards of my industry. Okay? 3 things. You might forget them, you might remember them, but that's what drives me. 3 of my motivators. All right? So, what motivates you? Shout it out, put it in the box. I've told you 3 reasons. What motivates you? Unmute yourself if you want. I asked you what motivates.
I'll unmute myself because it's going to take me too long to type it.
Go on, shout it out, Helen. Come on. Help us here.
Okay, so what motivates me? Definitely my own achievements. So if I set myself a goal and then I achieve that, that motivates me to carry on.
Excellent.
So kind of really intrinsic motivation. I'm pretty self-motivated.
Yeah.
Unlike you, I'm motivated to prove things to myself, not necessarily to be better than somebody else. So one of the other things I've written down for me is collaboration, not competition. For me, that's a real motivator.
Yeah.
Recognition and accountability as well. The recognition I think I can give myself, but I like to be accountable to somebody else. And that's one of the reasons why I've put stuff in the Facebook group, is because actually, if I do that, I have to continue to do what I set out to do because other people are looking. So accountability is a real motivator for me as well.
I often post on my own Facebook for that reason.
Okay.
I love Facebook memories. Every morning, it's one of the first things I do is check my Facebook memories and go, I did that, or, oh, what happened there? Do you know what I mean? It's a similar sort of thing.
Yeah. Hold
yourself accountable to it. Brilliant. Excellent. Anyone else? Anything else? Come on. Must be another 1 or 2 are happy to shout it out. Family, feeling fit, taken seriously by others. Being positive promotes me to keep achieving. Nice one, Scott. And then I step on the skills, another loss. I know my hard work. Having a long future. I love life. Well, that is just one of the biggest motivators ever. If you just love life, yeah, absolutely. Not going to argue with that one. I've lost me cursor. There we go. There's loads coming in here, bro, Nick. Hang on, let me scroll down a bit. Seeing improvement, achieving my goals, feeling better about myself, so I can work out my kids who fit. Brilliant, absolutely. Oh, there's absolutely loads here. I'm going to have good fun reading through these later. This is excellent. Positivity, family, hope of a healthy life. Absolutely, Emma, couldn't agree more. Training with like-minded people. Well, hopefully you've found somewhere that works out for you, Jen. Fingers crossed. So, I shouted this across the gym before. I was in the gym. I was training like I do. Been fit and all that these days. You know what I'm saying? And I shouted this out to somebody who isn't in here tonight, but will be watching this later. And I'll just say again, hi. And I said, Ikigai. What does it mean? What does it mean? If you know, shout it out. If you've Googled it, don't cheat. Don't tell everybody. What does that mean? What is Ikigai? Your reason for being. Not bad. I like it. Anything else? Anyone care to unmute yourself and give me your best Japanese? I'm going to put you out your misery. Do you like that? I'm going to hopefully you remember this. Ikigai is your burning desire. Your burning desire. It is the wish in your whoop. Yes? It is the wish in your whoop. It is your reason. So like Helen said, your reason for being is, for me, I think it's a bit sexier, hence the image. Burning desire. I love that. So what is your Ikigai? And if the only thing you take away from this tonight, from this little 45-minute talk, is the word Ikigai, and you keep coming back to this image in your head of your burning desire, I am very happy with that. So what is yours? What is your Ikigai? You all know mine. I've been talking about it for 5 weeks. I've been talking about mine. What's yours? Anyone want to care to come and join me in this conversation? Come on, be brave. Be brave. Or you're just going to sit back and listen to us talking.
I'll jump in from a work point of view.
Yeah.
For me, it is seeing people, you know, from a coaching perspective, from a personal development coaching, it's just seeing people become a better version of themselves. And when you see that happen and the value that they get, that is absolutely it. It is the very reason that I do it and why I love it so very much.
So you do this for a living, Helen, so you know more about this than me, yeah? In a different context, because I coach people to get fitter and healthier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has this helped you this last 5 weeks? Because it's going to be putting a different spin on things for you.
Absolutely. And it really has, and I'll tell you why. Is because for people who do what I do, for trainers and coaches, you don't often get trained and coached. So it's really brilliant to have all of it delivered from another perspective. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And also, giving everything to everybody else is brilliant.
Yeah. For me, what makes these sessions better is finding out what everyone else's reasons are. Yeah. That's why I ask the questions. It's so important that we get the feedback off you. So I don't want it just to be me talking about me and my why and everything. Because a lot of you know them already, and I've been quite open and honest, more so in here than in personal life. To be fair, I don't really talk to some of my friends and family. If I release these videos out to everybody, they'd be absolutely gobsmacked, to be fair. Some of my close friends and family. So it's really interesting. So from your perspective, as someone who does this for a living, these are still helped you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you've had a brilliant few weeks off the back of them as well, haven't you?
I have. Yeah. And again, I think that's because it comes to one of the points I was saying before about being motivated, about being accountable to someone else. Yes. And to a group, even better. Don't be accountable to one person, be accountable to 55, however many people are on the, who'll see that post. So, but yeah, for me, the whole Ikigai, and there's another word that I'd like to throw in there, which might help people, is Kaizen, which is another Japanese word, which is about tiny improvements. It's not about eating the whole elephant. It's just those tiny little changes that you can make. If you do them consistently, you get better.
Absolutely. 100%. If you do those tiny little steps day in, day out, I think you just said consistency there, isn't it? Consistency is so important when it comes to all of this mindset work. If you can find the consistency in just some of the small things, you can break it down. You know, I don't want to throw too much into a 45-minute, an hour-long session, but if you find something and then do it really, really well all the time, it's so much easier. And that's what Josh's program's trying to do a little bit. Give you something to look at each day and try and focus on and try and tie it all together. So, excellent. Anyone else got anything to chuck in? Anyone?
I'll tell you mine. Mine is to feel better about myself and have a better mindset.
Well, you're in the right place, Sharon. Hey, hopefully. Brilliant.
I am, yes.
So how have you found it so far? What have you done to...
I'll be totally honest with you all. I've actually struggled with this course just because of personal issues, but I've also found it very, very helpful.
Right.
And it's made me refocus and rethink about my life and what I want to achieve. And by doing these up to 5 weeks that we've done so far now, I'm in a better place than what I was originally, and I just want to keep going.
Are you struggling with the whole isolation lockdown thing, or is it?
No, I'm still working, so
yeah.
I am missing my parents and my son, but apart from that, life's still going on. So yeah, it is tough, but.
And how have they helped you? What have you done? So I know you've said you've struggled with a little bit, but what parts of what we've done so far that have actually helped you kind of come out a little bit?
It's setting my goals.
Yeah.
It's changing my habits. So I've set my goals. I've got something on my notice board. I'm starting to plan my meals. I'm weighing myself every day. I'm wanting to be structured in achieving 5 sessions a week. I'm changing my habits, turning my phone off at night time, having an hour's time for myself, just reading or just listening to the radio instead of watching television and listening all the negativity that's going on and around at the moment.
There's lots of that, isn't there? You let yourself into it totally. So good. Well, I'm glad it's helping a little bit.
Yeah.
And you know you just have to pick the phone up.
I do. Yeah. Thank you.
Good stuff. So, more confident person and to overcome my anxiety. Well, I'm hoping that we can help you do that. Questioning negativeness in others around me and calmly making them think again. I love that. Let's keep. Excuse me. Oh, there's some cracking things coming in the chat box here, guys, tonight. And I get it that not everyone wants to shout it out, and some of you just listening rather than sharing it with us, and that is fine as long as you're getting something out of it yourself. But brilliant. And I'm hoping all these folk that, you know, want to be less anxious, more confident, that there's little tiny things you can take out of these hour, 45-minute hour chats and what we do in the gym that's going to help you. And the thing is, doing these courses has just made me realise how important it is, and we're going to take this forward into different areas of the gym, and we're going to concentrate on this a lot more in some way, shape or form over the coming months and years ahead, hopefully. So I asked you before what that equation was. There was an equation to motivation. Who'd have thought it? All right, someone who hates maths and hates numbers, number dyslexic. As I was told by my good friend, Mr. Stephen O'Brien, who, he's a dyslexic specialist, and he made me do a test, and I always struggle with numbers, and I'm number dyslexic. There you go, I knew it. But there's the equation: value times expectation of success equals motivation. Does anyone want to know what that means in real terms? Okay, because I've spent the afternoon trying to simplify this down, and because anything to do with numbers, and that isn't numbers, but it's an equation, and equations, as soon as I hear that word, makes me go, because I remember as a kid for years worrying about A plus X equals C, and I'm like, I just don't get this at all. All right, so the end result, you want an end result. All right, you want to lose weight, you want to get fitter, You think about it lots and lots and lots. You think about having to go to the gym. You think about having to eat healthier, not eat the rubbish that you might like to eat every day. You think about it, you procrastinate, and all of a sudden, you talk yourself out of doing the thing that you need to do instead of doing it. Why? How would you have felt if you had just gone and done it? Yeah? How would you have felt if you'd just gone and done it? That is about motivation equation. So 2 things. Consider the task that needs to be done. Go and do your session, go for your walk, go and batch cook your food, whatever it is that you do. Consider the task. Relate it back to your whoop. And then think about your self-esteem. And how is it going to make you feel if you do it or you don't do it? It's that simple. Yeah? I simplified this equation for you into 2 points. Consider the task and consider your self-esteem, whether you do the task or you don't do it. How is it going to make you feel? Think about it. You can build your motivation as well as not. How many times, I wish I had a pound for the last 6 to 8 weeks that I've heard, I'm lacking in motivation to train. I can't be bothered to train online. I can't be bothered. I'm not motivated enough to book into a Zoom session. A Zoom session isn't personal training. It's how we deliver it at the minute. All right. But how many people do you know that used to train all the time in the gym that you've never seen in a session? They have no motivation to train because the whoop isn't strong enough. The wish in the whoop is not strong enough. How do you think about that? Helen, what do you think about that? Because you'll have used that equation before, have you?
Yeah, ever so slightly differently to you. So for me, it's the value that I'm going to get out of it and my likelihood to achieve it is what drives motivation.
Yeah.
Which is why I think sometimes people fail to succeed because they want to be done. They want to be one and done.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen. So the likelihood to succeed is insurmountable, which means half of that equation just falls away. So they'll end up not doing it.
Yeah.
But I think what you've just said now about the fact that Zoom is the delivery mechanism. The training is still the same. I think all of us who have done a Zoom session would argue that we've had just as hard, just as challenging sessions in our own living rooms as we've had in the gym. But the delivery mechanism has changed. And we also can't remove the fact that our worlds are very different place at the moment. But that obviously has a massive impact for people's motivation.
Yeah.
And I also think, and here comes an accountability piece, if you're going to go to the gym to meet up with people, there's more accountability than there is if you only have to walk downstairs to your living room or to whichever, wherever you're going to do it. So yeah, I think that definitely doesn't have as much of a draw as physically going somewhere, because you're still in your own space. But at the end of the day, it is an excuse. Sorry, everyone, those people who haven't done Zoom sessions, it is. Because it's there, the offer's there. It's just the delivery mechanism that's different.
And the thing
Can
is,
I jump in there, Barry?
sorry, go on.
Yeah. Taking out Helen's last point, I actually enjoyed the Zoom sessions because I know that I have a long drive to get to the gym.
Yeah.
And it's easy to think, oh, well, I've got to set off 25, 30 minutes before the actual session because of the number of traffic lights and the traffic, which means that I have to prepare sooner. And I suppose partly because of when I prefer to travel, I do it later in the day. Now, I know I'm only doing it at 11 o'clock in the morning, but I get out of bed and I'm dressed, ready for that 11 o'clock session.
Yeah.
And I plan my day around that 11 o'clock session rather than plan the day with a travel before the session and a travel back from the session. It's a longer time slot out of my day.
2 hour delivery, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
So Sue, if you were looking at that equation earlier, the value piece for you is even bigger.
Yes.
Because you're not losing as much time
Yeah.
as you would if you had to go to the gym. So for
Yeah.
you, there's even more value in that part
Yes.
of the equation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And taking this another point, talking about the expectation of success. I think sometimes we're very good at setting a goal that's too high to achieve.
Absolutely.
And I know I've sent Barry this in earlier in the week over something. I see myself on a longer scale than perhaps when I first started out this process. I've done a lot of self-evaluation and I was thinking that's my goal down there. But what it has made me do is to break it down into smaller steps. And I feel that if I have 1% success in a day, after 100 days, what have I achieved?
Brilliant. Love it.
You know, it's just making the smallest step that is achievable, because we set too big a goal, we give up before we achieve it because it's unachievable.
Absolutely
We've
right.
set yourselves up for failure.
So many people do that. You know what I mean? So many people want instant results nowadays. Yeah, they want it now, and it just doesn't happen. And if you expect to get it just like that, and you don't get it, motivation dips. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
The problem is what we say to ourselves affects our motivation. Yeah, what we say to ourselves affects our motivation. So all the stories that you're having in your own head, the conversations that you're having with yourself, with your partners, with your friends, your family, they're all affecting your motivation, and they can make it go like that. But when you switch it around and it can go like that, yeah, it's amazing. Our house, by the tiredness, is very motivated right now because me and Marie have a better appreciation of each other's roles at the minute. Yeah. I realise what it's like to be in the house with the kids all day, for more, because normally we'd be out of the house for 12, 14 hours. She's realised how important this gym is to you guys, to me, and everything that we do and we encompass, yeah? And we're both motivated to train every day, and we're both encouraging each other all the time. The language is different, yeah? And the motivation is high, and we're going to try and keep doing that. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's a good feeling, yeah, when you change the language. Rather than concentrating on, you know, the tiredness and the, you know, all the nappies and all that kind of carry on. The language is different and the motivation's high. Yeah, it's really good. So think about that. All right, what you say to yourself can affect your motivation up and down. All right. So what's that coming in now? I think the point you made about self-esteem is very true. I couldn't have stepped in the gym 12 months ago because my head wasn't in the right space. Sometimes you need to start where you are and not build up exactly. The amount of people I speak to, I want to get fit before I come to the gym and see you guys. Yeah? Just think about that. I want to get fit before I start working with a personal trainer.
That's almost like people say that they're ashamed to come into a fitness club because they think everybody in there is totally fit, and it's not true.
So my phones break down, Trev. I'll phone you after they're broken down, not when there was a problem. You know what I mean? My car breaks down, then I phone Gary to come and fix it. Yeah.
Well, if it's spluttering it,
so yeah,
depends how much warning you get, isn't it? Yeah.
So,
me personally, at the moment, I'm working on becoming a morning person. I was a night hawk, not anymore. But my aim is, when the gym opens, is to come to you in the mornings, which I've never done before.
What?
Yes.
What, 6?
I'm aiming for 6 o'clocker. I'm getting up at 6 now and doing a 20-minute session.
This is recorded.
I don't care. This is the aim.
Back.
This is the aim.
Brilliant.
I'll become a morning person rather than a late night person,
Magic.
which I'm achieving.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anyway, think about it. If I told you a joke one time and it was funny, you might laugh, yeah? True? if I told you the same joke straight away, within a couple of minutes, second time, would you laugh? Maybe a little bit, if it was really funny, or maybe thinking, why is he telling me that same joke again? If I tell you the third joke, the same joke for the third time in a row within a couple of minutes, what are you going to do? Are you going to laugh? I wouldn't. I'd be like, what?
Mute, yeah.
Mute
After the 20th time, I'll probably laugh because I'll probably start to get it then.
No. If I tell you a joke 3 times in a row,
Yeah.
first time laugh, second time giggle, third time, what's he doing? Yeah? So you guys sometimes tell yourself the same story over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Why? If I tell you the same story over and over and over again and try and tell you the same joke for 3 times in a row, you're going to stop listening. But yourself sitting there, yeah? And every time you tell you that same story, that you can't do it, you won't get your weight loss goal, you won't hit your deadlift target, you won't have your abs, you won't get your 6-pack because of this, and this, you're demotivating yourself. Yeah?
Yeah, you can do that. That is true. Also, like
You'd stop listening to me, wouldn't you?
It takes time sometimes as well. Old habits take some break, and they reckon it takes about 10 weeks to actually break a habit and to start a new one.
There you go. So think about it. Stop.
That's my
Repeat.
turn. Yeah, so it was an excuse. I don't know, but I'm just working on that sort of theory that in 10 weeks, hopefully, I'll be getting to the gym in the morning.
Let's wait and see, Tim.
Let's wait and see.
Brilliant. So, think about it. Stop telling you the same story over and over again, because you'll end up believing it. All right? So, you've all got the same hours in the day. You've all got the same 7 days to do something. Decide what you're going to be. Are you going to be a potato? Are you going to be an egg? Or are you going to be a coffee bean? Take your pick. All right? And tell me next week, because I'm going to ask you. A potato. We put them all in boiling water. All right? You've got a week's worth of boiling water ahead of you. I'm going to put a potato in a pan of boiling water for 20 minutes. I'm going to put an egg in a pan of water for 20 minutes. And I'm going to put the coffee beans in a pan of water for 20 minutes. They're all in the same environment. They've all got the same things in front of them. A pan of boiling water. Which are you going to be? Are you going to be the potato that goes in rock hard and comes out soft? Yeah? Are you going to be the egg that goes in fragile and comes out hard? Yeah? Or do you want to be the coffee beans that completely and utterly creates something new for itself? It goes in as a bean, it boils, and it's unique when it comes out at the end. It turns into a nice, lovely drink that is liquid gold, and it is coffee, and it is life. Which do you want to be? Do you want to go in all hard and turn into soft mush after 20 minutes? Do you want to go in fragile and feeling a little bit soft and breaks easily, but turns into something hard? Or do you want to be unique? Do you want to create something different? Same stimulus, different outcome. It's up to you how you respond. It's up to you how you respond. Katie, you're smiling there. Are you loving it?
I think that's hilarious. I'll be a new blend. That's what I'm going to be.
A new blend, yeah. I want to know what blend you are by next week.
All right, I'll have a think.
All right. So think about it. Next week, over the next 7 days, 160 hours, we've all got the same environment around us right now. For some people, it's not very nice. For some people, you're coping all right. But what are you going to do? Are you just going to get on with it and turn to mush? Are you going to still be fragile at the end of it? Or are you going to create a unique opportunity to turn it into something different? All right, Gold Blend, fabulous. And if you are struggling, and I know, again, I keep going back to Helen, but she knows all about this because she's a big fan as well. If you are struggling with inner demons that might turn you into mush, or you're already fragile, I'm not going to go into this because this is a whole different course and it's probably level 2 or 3, because like I said last week, this is only level 1, we're just scratching the surface. But the Chimp Paradox by Professor Stephen Peters, I've read this many, many years ago and I revisit it all the time. I still haven't actually got to the end of the book because I keep going back and reading it. Read that book. It will help you with your inner demons that tell you can't. It'll explain why your mind tells you things and plays tricks on you. All right, Really has read this one. Brilliant. This book.
What was it called, Barry?
The Chimp Paradox. Can you see the slide?
Oh,
Yeah. Stephen Peters, The Chimp Paradox. This could well help with anyone whose mind takes over and tells you a different story to the one that you want. Okay? So there's some more reading material for you. I'm not going to go into this because it'll take us off down rabbit holes which you don't want to go into. But if you struggle with your mind playing tricks on you, all right, and your instant reaction to something is no, or I can't do that, or my instant reaction to things used to be, yeah, I've read that and I'm trying, and it's a battle every day to control my inner chimp. Some days it's easier than others. Okay, but that's one for you to read. So, we're going back. Everything we've talked about tonight, everything that we've talked about over the last couple of weeks, relates back to that very first session we did, back to your whoop. What is that wish that steer to you? What is so important that when you shut your eyes, you can smell it, you can feel it, you can taste it. What happens when your motivation dips? What if your motivation dips on Wednesday? What if you, in 5 years' time, phones you right at that minute in time? Yeah? What is 5-year you going to say to lacking in motivation you right now? Yeah? Remember that fancy phone call from you in 5 years' time telling you how you got to the person that you want to be. When you're lacking in motivation, what is that person going to have to say to you to get your ass into gear, Lizzie? Yes. 2 coffee beans here on Team James. Fabulous. So think about it. When your motivation starts to wane because you're talking to yourself in the negative, come up with a plan to stop yourself doing it. We all do it. We're all guilty of it. It's human nature, but we can change that. Okay? Revisit your whoop again after this. Dig out your workbook from a couple of weeks back. Pull your notes up. Yeah? Go back to it. Does it look the same still? Okay? So, how are we feeling right now? Has this helped? Yes or no? Talk to me. Put it in the chat box and mute yourself. Has this given you something to think about?
Ready to give it all another go. Ready to keep going.
Keep going. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Feeling good?
Yeah, ready to achieve.
Excellent. Motivated, Lizzie.
Yeah.
Love it. Well done. Anyone else? Come on. This is exactly what we both need. A motivation injection. Count to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and do it. It works every time. You're all still using it because I'm seeing it in your Facebook post. I'm listening to it when I'm in the gym and I can hear the sessions going on. Oh, not them again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bang, you're going to do it. Yeah? Excellent. How are we feeling? We're feeling positive. How else are we feeling? Are we feeling good? Are we going to leave here and take on the world? And what are you going to do? What are you going to do tonight? What are you going to do tomorrow to take action, to lead to positive results? All right? What are you going to do tomorrow? Are you going to be a potato, an egg, or a coffee bean? What is your ikigai? Change the story. Brilliant. Have you got any questions for me? Any questions? Unmute yourself. Any questions about the workbooks?
What are the winning lottery numbers? No, I'm
Can't tell
joking.
you. Well, I could. But if I win, we'll just share it out between everybody. Feeling good. I'm going to walk my dog now. Couldn't be bothered before. Poor dog. Put him on a treadmill. Reflect, refocus, repeat. Brilliant. Excellent. And again, remember, do not do this. Do not listen to this 45, 50-minute now chat and don't do anything with it. Take action. All right? Take action. Don't just sit, listen, read it, write some notes, and then leave them under the magazine, chuck them out in the coal fire, or whatever else you've done with your notes. All right? Do something with it. Okay? I remember, be your own hero.
Has he gone?
I think he's gone.
I think he's just disappeared or he's frozen.
He's frozen.
I just got the hero part, and then I kind of
Yeah, that's where it ended.
It's like be your own hero, and then it's like
Great
gone.
to end it.
I'm a hero, and then he's gone.
Hero,
Yeah, I
hero.
was like,
Mic
right,
drop.
He's left us on the cliff edge.
no, we'll continue.
Oh, Nikki, you're the host now.
Yeah, apparently so.
All over to you, Trevor.
I think he's got a phone call from his 5 years in the future person.
Oh, dear. Oh, well, I'll see you all next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know.
I don't know if he's gone or not. He's maybe trying to reload.
Well, it's still recording.
Yeah.
He's probably wanted to hear the chatter we have between us.
Yeah. it's-
Oh, I need to plug in.
Catch us off guard.
That's it.
yeah. I've dropped myself in it there with the 6 o'clock in the morning, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have. You totally have.
That's the
It'll revolutionise your life.
Yeah, it will. I agree.
6 a.m., 7 a.m., brilliant time to train.
Unfortunately, I have to do it 6 because
Yeah.
I'm at work at 7:30, so I can't do the full hour. You see, so
Yeah, I normally do. I've started
Yeah.
doing 6 o'clock recently before lockdown, and it's been
Yeah.
great.
6 o'clock seemed like a big leap for me at first, but I'm getting up at 6 and doing 20 minutes before I go to work. So I'm breaking it down in small chunks, and hopefully I'll build it up to getting to 5:30, and then I'll be able to make the gym then.
Yeah.
Good.
So I'm only half an hour off it and getting there, little steps.
It is. It's little steps, Trevor, isn't it? Yeah, I agree with that.
Totally is.
Yeah.
Right, guys, I'm going to go.
I'm going.
Yeah, we might as
Thanks,
well go.
everybody.
We'll catch you next week.
Nice to see you
Have a
all.
good week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Stay
Take
safe,
care.
everyone.
Bye.
He must have got cut off, I think, because he wouldn't mean to go like that.